Hey guys, welcome back to Human Condition. This video is another video in our philosophy series. This video is what is hedonism and how do we live a pleasurable life. So this should be a pretty interesting one. Sorry it's been a while. I took a little break, but I'm gonna get back into the daily grind every day, posting out videos for you guys. What is hedonism and how do we live a pleasurable life? Hedonism is the philosophy of trying to live the best life. And basically what this means is hedonism, unlike Stoicism in our previous philosophy video, and Epicurism and the one after that, hedonism suggests that the only good in life is feeling good, pleasure, specifically bodily pleasure, such as food, drinking, and intimacy. Those are the main goods of hedonism suggests, and the only good ones seek is physical pleasure. So for hedonism, that's the ultimate good, whereas a Stoic is being a good person, an Epicurist would be living a comfortable life, a hedonist would be feeling good physically, and just achieving personal success. So a Stoic would say I want to live a good life. An Epicurist would say I want to live a comfortable life. A hedonist would say I want to live the best life. Hedonism is kind of like there's a lot of different types of hedonism. The Epicurism, the last video we talked about, the chill, laid back person that is calm and values friendships, is actually a form of hedonism, believe it or not. But that form is more of pragmatic hedonism, meaning cautious and careful, because that Epicurism also valued pleasure, just like hedonism. The only difference is Epicurism is seek pleasure, but also avoid mental and physical pain. Hedonism is seek pleasure, don't worry about potential pain. That's the key difference. Epicurism, seek pleasure, avoid pain. Hedonism, seek pleasure, don't worry about future pain or potential pain. Original hedonism was called Cyanic hedonism. I don't know if I said that right. And that was the one with bodily pleasure. Okay, philosophy. You can be a good person, have this philosophy, a hedonist, but a lot of the time, sadly, the people that are the harshest also fall in this category, like the most egocentric and self-serving people would also live a hedonist lifestyle. So for example, people who are egocentric, people who suffer from narcissism, not obviously not all narcissists are bad people, but the ones who are potentially have bad traits of narcissism or uncontrolled narcissism would fall under a hedonistic lifestyle, because people who suffer from narcissism tend to, not always, manipulate and kind of use people for their personal gain, and hedonism is all about achieving one's own personal success and personal gain in life. So hedonist would often also wouldn't be opposed to seeking fame, wealth, romantic flings, and stuff like that. Whereas an Epicurus would be more cautious, seeking fame, wealth, and romantic flings, because an Epicurus doesn't want any chaos. They want to actively avoid chaos. Whereas a hedonist would not worry about things. So this is kind of like, so you can see this obviously dangerous, risky philosophy to have in modern day-to-day life, because you don't worry about the problems you might cause people, and it's kind of a harsh philosophy to have. It's kind of a brutal philosophy to have, because you don't really think about other people around you. You think only about your personal goals and fame and etc. Another key distinction: a hedonist can have good friendships, and like an Epicurist. The only difference is a hedonist might sadly use their friends as well, whereas Epicurus values their friendships. A hedonist doesn't really care quite as much. They might use their friendships for more fame, personal status, wealth, and obviously like physical pleasures. That's a key distinction. Epicurism seeks friendships and values mainly important to them are mental ease, avoidance of pain, physical avoidance of pain, friendships. Whereas hedonism loves having friends. Obviously, hedonists would love having friends, but they don't value it quite as much, sadly, as their own personal physical gratification, and such as food, intimacy, and drinking, and their fame and personal success, sadly, which is a shame. But one cool aspect about this also, though, is an Epicurus don't want romantic relationships. A hedonist would seek romantic relationships because a hedonist doesn't actually mind mental pain, whereas Epicurism is cool because, like, if you have anxiety, Epicurism would be like, hey, try not to seek things that cause you stress and just live a comfortable life. A hedonist would actually not mind enduring mental stress to have greater pleasure later on in life. But sadly, even when they when they have romantic relationships, unlike an Epicurus who wouldn't have a romantic relationship, sadly their romantic relationships are all superficial, usually. So yeah, in conclusion, what is hedonism and how to live a pleasurable life or the best life? Hedonism, unlike Stoicism, being morally good is the best thing to do. Epicurism, living a comfortable life. Hedonism is getting the most out of life. So YOLO, like the saying YOLO, you only live once, a hedonistic phrase. Probably it's about taking all what one can of good things in life and enjoying it while you can, which is a good part of it. Which is a good part is just enjoying the best out of life, which is obviously a good thing. However, the negative part is maybe potentially taking advantage of the good things in life. And it's seeking just great personal success in life, but sometimes negatively not thinking about how it impacts other people. And it believes the only good thing in life, or the greatest good in life, is personal success and pleasure, but specifically physical pleasure. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you then.